What is up, guys? We've got something really cool today. Onslaught Block Sealed. I got Caustic here with me. We're going to be opening up some tournament packs and some 15-card booster packs to build some decks. Have some fun. We got a bunch of other people here today, too. You might be able to see them kind of in the background. So we'll be doing, I believe it's 3 rounds. Do you know, Caustic? If it's 3 or 4, something like that?
Might be 4.
Okay, 4. Yeah, we're going to be playing some good old-fashioned Sealed with classic cards. Should be a ton of fun. So, yeah, let's just get into it. We're both going to be opening kind of at the same time. I believe the foil is the first card in the pack, so if you want to try and hide it, I mean, we can find out. Yeah, it's been a while. These did come from a sealed box, so these are all unsearched, hopefully. We have just as good a hit as anybody to hit. Some foil fetches are kind of like the big thing, but there's some other good stuff. A Exalted Angel will be kind of huge. So, have you played Onslaught Block? Yeah, you got to give it a sniff, right?
I have not.
Oh yeah, that brings me back. Okay,
Right
so yeah, first one is the foil. What'd you get?
I got an Essence Fracture.
Okay, I'm moving mine to the back. Okay, so it does come with, I believe, 30 lands. So this all checks out.
Very pretty lands.
Right? That one's really cool. This is one of my favorites growing up for my Elves deck. So we did bring additional lands. I think back in Tournament Sealed, you, and I could be wrong with this, so correct me if I'm wrong, you had to build your deck with the lands that were in the pack as well. You didn't get to bring in extra lands.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that was the case. Again, I could be wrong.
Are we doing that today?
No. We're making it easier on ourselves.
Okay.
Get some better games of Magic for sure. We're definitely going to be at least in 2, 3 colors. Hey, that's a big hit.
Yeah, it is.
We got our insert as well. That's super sweet. So yeah, probably the best way to do this is, sort by color. We got a gig. Ooh, Cover of Darkness. I don't think this is worth as much as it used to be, but it's still kind of a decent card. Alright, so I think we're getting all of our, that's funny, rare clone. I mean,
Nice.
That could be good if someone else has something better than I do.
They might.
Right? I mean, that is kind of the danger with this. I suppose I should do this in Wooburg order.
Okay,
Otherwise.
this is sweet. Alright.
Alright, we got some Tribal Unity. Hey, Wirewood Lodge. Pack Fresh Elf Love right there. Okay, I got one with Sandbar. And 2 Go Husk. Pacifism. Forgotten Cave. Hey, Croson Tusker, there's some mana fixing for all the shenanigans. Okay, so Elvish Warrior was my favorite card growing up. It's not good. I mean, it's a 2/3 for double green. Like, that's pretty good stats, I guess, but it doesn't do anything else. But the art and the flavor text and everything, it was just like my favorite card growing up.
I've got a pretty decent elf package, it looks like.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm a little jealous. Oh, I got one too.
Nice.
I got a Goblin Sledder and a Festering Goblin. Here we go. Synergy.
Ooh, there you go.
Half Cutter. Yeah, Elves was definitely a decent deck.
Going right in my Beasts deck. Maybe that makes a return to the monthly someday.
That'd be sweet. Wirewood Savage. Also got one as well. Hey, Shepherd of Rot.
Nice.
Yeah, so there was definitely a lot of tribal, or I guess kindred is technically the term now, elements in here. And then my rare was Gus Cloak Harrier. Or my foil, I should say. It's not a rare, it's a common. Has pseudo vigilance if it's blocked.
They smell very good.
All right.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, there you go. Dripping Dead. Hey.
Nice.
Matching you a little bit, yeah. I actually might have more of a Goblins deck going on here. Of course, there's Slivers too. I don't think I've opened.
Oh yeah, I haven't. I don't think I
Sliver.
got any slivers so far.
Corpse Harvester.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
That's cool.
Ooh, Noxious Ghoul.
Noxious Ghoul's a good one.
Keeper of the Nine Gales. All right, we got some bird synergies going on here too.
Yeah. Any bombs over here?
Nothing
super
too
crazy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like the rare's in the middle for the Scourge pack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 uncommons, rare, and then 11.
Okay. Lingering Death. Okay. Potion knowledge.
Yeah, Lapis.
You got Proteus Machine. Right. Ooh, I got a foil from Scourge.
And Forgotten History on.
And Forgotten Ancient.
Label and
Nice.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, no, not that.
Oh. Alright.
Okay. Interestingly, I pulled 2 Essence Fractures.
Okay.
It's probably not worth it, but it's something.
Yeah. I think red is probably not my color today. I mean, let's look through it real quick. Yeah, I don't know if that's it. Proteus Machine is fun in that it enables every kindred synergy.
Oh, wow.
That's just like an extra
Yeah,
one.
totally. I didn't get any artifacts.
But no multicolored cards too, which is kind of funny.
You got better lands, though.
I mean, for you, yeah, you would love to have this. Oh, I mean, I might end up in black-green zombies and elves. I guess.
I honestly might do something of the same. I know I got a lot of elves.
Yeah, I also did get a lot of white cards. I should probably take a look. And blue. Like, I'm kind of even across 4 colors at least. Have you ever seen Hindering Touch? It's a counterspell with Storm.
Interesting.
For 4 mana, like, it's not
Yeah.
great, but at the very least it makes 2 copies, right, if you're countering
It's like-
one thing that got cast.
Yeah.
Early version of Flusterstorm.
Right.
Okay, I got some bird stuff, like Airborne Aid, draw a card for each bird in play.
Okay.
One of my rares, tap 2 untap birds to bounce something. Alright, I think zombies are definitely a thing, so I'm going to start laying that out. This is functionally a creature, but it's also a spell, so I'm going to
It's
count.
good early, good
Yeah.
late, so makes sense to me.
Gonna count that as a 2-drop. I forgot how expensive all the zombies are in in this block. Like, I have multiple 5+ drops.
Hey, I could turn your 1/1 face up for you.
Oh, that seems dangerous. Siphon Mine seems actually pretty good and limited. Got a Festering Goblin. I mean, I could give all my zombies Fear. That seems
There you
not
go.
bad, yeah.
I might have to go red because these are the removal spells I got.
Yeah, definitely interesting. I feel like my removal is very limited, and I'm mostly just trying to kill.
What removal do you have?
I have Lingering Death, which controller of enchanted creature sacrifices it at the end of his or her turn. So it's conditional removal, but I mean, it kills everything unless they have a disenchant. And then I have a Noxious Ghoul.
It's a good card.
Yeah. As like pseudo board wipe kind of. And then I just have combat tricks, like Patron of the Wild being able to turn stuff up.
Right.
I mean, this is on board combat trick, but still. I mean, that seems pretty good. I would,
Yeah. It.
mountain
Yeah,
cycling
yeah.
and then just having a big threat.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out. I like to think of my removal first
Okay, that's fair.
as like my backbone.
I mean, you got a decent, SWAT and
and then going from there.
yeah. Do you have enough clerics to play that? I think I have that too.
I don't know, but I have Rotling Reanimator,
Yeah. Okay.
which is something, and I have Cobalt Archon as my
Okay.
2. I only have 2. It's not the best, admittedly.
Yeah. Tribal Unity is actually kind of sick too if I can get enough zombies out.
Ooh, yeah, that's cool. Let's see. I might go green, red. I have a decent number of elves.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, your elf package
And
seemed pretty.
The Wirewood
solid.
Savage works with beasts, which I have
Right.
a good number of beasts that'll clear out the deck.
Yeah, I think
finish
that's a
it
good
up.
call. Like you're gonna want to play big creatures. Yeah, the Tribal Force Mage is huge.
Yep.
Like your black is definitely
Yeah.
tempting, but I think you do have.
Right.
What's the 6/6 ogre there?
This guy, I I could be sold. It's not a beast, though.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it can basically make it unblockable, right? Or board wipe if they don't block.
Well, it has to deal damage. Well,
But it's combat damage, right? So it just whenever it attacks.
oh, true, yeah.
Yeah, so it could be technically unblockable if you want it to be, or you could kill something that they
Right.
don't block with.
Right.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah, then maybe that, yeah. Put it in there.
I think Sealed definitely devolves into who has the best top-end threat if you don't have a super aggro deck.
I think that makes sense.
And I think I'm just going to put in some Pro White because I don't know, I don't have anything else. Another 2-drop. So one of the things that I like to do is figure out for pips. You could do this in your head, but I like to write it down. I know what the color is. All right, so definitely heavier in black. 12 green pips as opposed to 17 black. The only other thing is green is my fixing and ramp, so... Maybe I just go 7-10. And this was one of the challenges with tournament packs. It only gives you about 5 to 6 lands per.
Right.
Luckily,
Yeah, I brought lands. I tried to make sure they're all onslaught blocks,
I brought my draft set, which is 7th.
Oh, well, never mind. I brought Odyssey lands. I was in a rush to get out the door, so. Now we get to the part that I struggle with is how top heavy am I?
Well, again, it is sealed, so it is going to go sealed of an older format, so it is going to go very slow. So if you think you have the time to cast the big things, which you probably do, you have enough low drops to at least stall.
At least my top end cycles. This guy
True.
morphs,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
does help, actually.
Yeah. I think what mana dorks were actually in Onslaught. I think there was the Wirewood something, the 2-drop that taps for green. I mean, Elvish Pioneer is essentially a mana dork if you keep a 2-lander.
Yeah.
Having a land cycler is pretty huge.
Right.
Be able to go get
That's
your
true.
red. Yeah.
Do I have one? I think I do, right?
Yep.
I have
Yeah.
a cycler, yep. I want 17 lands? 18?
17 is kind of the general rule. If you have a more aggressive deck, which you can go like the 16, or if you have a lot of ramp. But yeah, 17 I would say is probably where you want to be for this deck, especially since you don't have a ton of top end. Like you're kind of stopping at 4. Oh, that's funny. The 3-drop goblin 1/2 fly. I mean, it's limited.
Hey, it's there.
It's good. Yeah. I don't think I have a single creature with flying. Usually you have to be in blue or white for that. I don't even think I have reach. That could be problematic.
Yep, so I'm at 40. I kind of like that because it has Storm.
Yeah, I mean, I included it.
Kind of like that because it's fixing. I'm not 100% on these guys.
Yeah.
I could be sold, but I'm not 100% there.
I'm not... You don't have a lot of double pip stuff, so I don't know if I'd be super
I have
concerned.
one
about
double
that.
pip. That is
Yeah.
it.
And then
But-
if you add these guys, you'll probably have that by the time. Like, mathematically, you should have those
Right.
pips by that.
You think one of these
Point.
is more cost efficient than that?
I think so. I don't think this does enough.
Oh, it's an instant. I thought it was an enchantment. Yeah.
No, it's just a one-time thing, yeah.
Yep, that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
I think I'd rather have that.
I think so. I think that will win you games. I mean, this seems pretty good too, but
It does, but it is pricey. Even on the low end, it's pricey.
yeah. Yeah, I would definitely just put in the creature threat, because if you top that with nothing on the board,
Yeah.
that's going to be way better than that. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so then it's making room for this guy, which I think has got to replace a spell, which I don't have a lot.
Right. This makes stuff though, right?
Yeah, I think that card's pretty good.
Oh, but it is each player.
Is it each player?
Yeah. I would definitely keep your removal.
That's true. I feel like I'm lighter on removal than I want to be.
Yeah,
So
I think that's
maybe
going to be the
a
case for
reason
most of them.
that.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just better to go with this.
I think so.
This thins the deck, gets me to ramp. Okay, I'll go with that. Okay, I should be at 40 unless I suck at counting. 41.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I
did
maybe
bring
the
41
spark
sleeves.
spray. Oh, there you go. Maybe the spark spray just in case. There's not a whole lot of 1/1s you probably want to be killing. I mean, it gets you that extra point of damage, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the charm do again? What are its modes? It's goblins can't be blocked, right?
Target creature gains haste, or
Okay.
target creature gets +2/+0,
Okay.
or deals 3 damage to a wizard.
Okay. I think that's better than the spark spray. Just being able to push damage or give something haste to swing
think
angry.
That makes sense.
Cool. All right. Well, I think we got our decks. So
Nice.
next up will be some games. See you guys then. What is up, everyone? Welcome to round 1 of this Onslaught Sealed Block Constructed mini tournament, I guess. We're only doing 3 rounds. We did the original video deck construction. You definitely want to go check that out, where I cracked a tournament pack of Onslaught, a pack of Legions, and a pack of Scourge with my buddy Caustic. Also, I think a little face reveal for him. Ton of fun. Obviously, being a Premodern channel, we're all about the good old days. So I'm very excited for this round 1 match, which is going to be me versus Teebs. And let's just dive into my deck list first. And I ended up in a very typal green-black zombie theme. I definitely have a couple of bangers here, but it's mostly what you'd expect from zombies. Pretty low to the ground, a little bit of higher top end, but really just trying to push damage as much as I can. We're not going to go card by card because, well, this isn't constructed, but I do want to call out some cool pieces. Festering Goblin being a quick 1-drop that also can potentially take out a 2-drop is not too shabby. Shepherd Rot being able to ping both my opponent and myself based on the number of zombies I have in play could be very good if I'm very aggressive. I do kind of shore that up with more powerful green creatures to help push damage, and then maybe Shepherd can get the last bit through. Speaking of getting damage through, you'll notice I have a Cover of Darkness there as well. This definitely has gone down in price, so it wasn't quite the hit it used to be, but it's still a really cool card that does give my zombies fear. And right next to it, a little bit more of that typal synergy with Tribal Unity, being able to also give all my zombies +X/+X till end of turn, could just potentially end the game. The only other rare in my deck is Forgotten Ancient, a 4-drop 0/3 that whenever a player plays a spell, it gets a +1/+1 counter, and then at the beginning of my upkeep, I may move any number of +1 counters from Forgotten Ancient onto other creatures. This ended up being, as you would expect, pretty good, especially in a format that is a little light on removal. I don't really even have a ton in here. I think Lingering Death is my only piece of true hard removal, and then I just have a couple of combat tricks, and I guess Noxious Ghoul being a board wipe, that's another one we can talk about. A 5-drop that gives all non-zombies -1/-1 whenever it or another zombie comes into play can be very good. Gem Home Polluter, just another way to push damage through if the board stalls, which I kind of expect it to. And then Croson Tusker is just a very good top-end threat, can just mana fix, which is very important. You'll also notice on the Croson Tusker there is a stamp. Teebs actually made this stamp for this event. This is my very poor job trying to stamp it on there. Just a really cool addition to what is a really sweet event that I don't know if I'll ever be able to do again. Anyways, that's my deck. Let's see what Teebs brewed up. Next up is Teebs with a blue-red, I want to call it Goblin/Wizards deck. There's a lot of cards that care about goblins and a few pretty powerful ones that care about being wizards. One thing I'm noticing right off the bat is the amount of flying creatures that she has. That's going to be very problematic for my list, as I don't even think I have a creature that has reach, let alone flying. And yeah, this is a equally aggressive, if not more aggressive deck that is backed up with lots of good removal. We got the Skirk Prospector Goblin Grappler coming down as 1-drops, also that Fugitive Wizard, which isn't good by itself, but there's cards that care about wizards, including the Nameless one, whose power and toughness is equal to the number of wizards you have. And I'm sure if we checked some of the Oracle text, maybe 1 or 2 of these goblins are also wizards. Maybe that's Sparksmith, not entirely sure. But even without that, the removal is strong. That Sparksmith can do a lot of damage to a target creature. And I also see stuff like Lavamancer's Skill, which turns any of their goblins into a Timmy. Spark Spray, which can just deal with low threats. Extra Arms is a card I've never seen before, but for 5 mana, being able to deal 2 damage to a creature or player seems pretty solid as a way to get rid of incidental blockers. Pinpoint Avalanche and Solar Blast are just amazing removal spells. And there's even a little bit of counter magic here with Ixodor's Will, which cares about the number of wizards you have in play, and Lingering Touch, which is a storm counter spell. I think I even called that card out in the deck building as a really cool card that I have not seen, but could be potentially very strong in limited, as at the very least it's making you pay 4 for your spell, otherwise it gets countered. Kind of a precursor to Flusterstorm. As for the top end threats, looks like we have a Battering Craighorn, a 3/1 first strike for 4 mana, which, considering all the different combat tricks, that Teebs has can be very devastating. The nameless one, as I mentioned, if there's enough wizards out, could just be a very big problem. And Aven Fate Shaper, a 7-drop 4/5 flying that does let you rearrange the top cards of your library, but that doesn't matter as much as the fact that it's a 4/5 with flying. That can end the game very quickly. I should also mention for top end threats the Flame Wave Invoker, which is just a 2/2 3-drop, but it does have the ability for 8 mana to deal 5 damage to a target player. If the board does stall, that is going to be hard to beat. Oh, also important to mention, there is a Goblin Burrows down there in the bottom, a very relevant land for this deck. Being able to give a target goblin +2/+0 can also really push damage very quickly. This is a scary looking deck. I'm excited for these games, so let's dive in. And here we go. I am on the left, Teebs is on the right. Now I'm going to do my best to get all the card names right. Obviously, Onslaught Sealed is not exactly the same as Premodern, and there's very few cards that I truly recognize, except from way back in the day. We're talking childhood here. So bear with me, but this should make for some interesting magic. I do notice I have a Cover of Darkness in my hand. Looks like we both have keepable ones, so Teebs is just going to go Mountain Go. Let's go Swamp Go. This is sealed, so it is going to be kind of a slower format. Teebs does hit both colors of mana, and we see a Spitfire Handler, a 2-drop, can't block creatures with power greater than Spitfire Handler's power. You can also give it Fire Breathing for a single red. Alright, both players hitting their colors. There's a Shepherd of Rot. Right now, just being able to tap it to deal 1 to both players isn't very good. But it might even be worth blocking this Spitfire Handler before it gets too far. Just a 1/1 right now, but can be a 3/3. Looks like Teebs is not going to swing in. Instead, going to hold up interaction. And I'm going to tap for 3. And I think I'm going to be morphing this Proteus machine. At any point, I can turn it face up for 0 to make it any creature type I want. Doesn't change the stats of it. It's still a 2/2. But it's just a cool way to guarantee you have a creature type for a deck that cares about creatures, and a format that cares about creatures. Alright, here we got a Mercurial Kite, 4-drop, 2/2. Whenever it deals damage to a creature, tap that creature, doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. So kind of a precursor to stun counters. Now, it's only a 2/2, so the fact that it's likely trading with something or chump blocking and trying to stall that creature is maybe what it's good for, but it is all just a 4-drop 2/2 flyer, which again is very important in this matchup, as I don't really have any way to deal with it. There's another morph creature. If I had to guess, that is my, oh gosh, what is it? The creature I can turn face up to give other target creature +3/+3. So kind of an onboard combat trick. I do believe I need 2 mana to do that though. And Mercurial Kite getting in for 2. I'm just going to say go with a lot of mana up. And here's where I maybe get aggressive. I also have a Cover of Darkness. I could potentially play that out. Gem Palm Polluter in hand as well. Am I cycling the Polluter here? Or playing the Cover of Darkness? No, we're going Cover of Darkness to try and push damage. This gives all creatures of a specific type fear. I think I'm going to name zombies here. And then I'm going to turn Proteus Machine face up for 0. Make it a zombie. And then am I swinging with both zombies? Potentially. Now, I believe Gem Palm Polluter needs double black to cycle, so I'm not going to be able to cycle it this turn. But we have 3 coming in, unblocked. Again, Fear just prevents all creatures except for black or artifact creatures from blocking. Ooh, but there is a Solar Blast in Teebs' hand. 4 mana, deal 3 damage to target creature or player. Or they can cycle it for 3. Looks like that'll be the play. I'm going to cycle it to deal 1 to the Shepherd of Rot. In response, oh, it is 3 mana. Okay, we're going to turn the... I always forget the name of this card, but it basically gives the Shepherd of Rot +3/+3. So it'll survive the Solar Blast, and we'll be trundling in for 4. Just getting a little closer read, I think, of Solar Blast. Okay, so damage happens, draw off the cycling, and yeah, take 6. So this is the first damage, yeah, this game. So yeah, 6 down to 14. And then say go. One of the reasons why it's kind of important to keep the Shepherd Rod around is if I'm ahead on life totals, I can pretty easily start tapping that to deal 2 right now. Okay, we're going to cycle the Lonely Sandbar. And there is another way to deal with the Shepherd Rot, a Spark Spray. Which I'm all tapped out. This might be the time to do it. Take care of that Shepherd Rot. The green creature, oh, okay, we're just gonna get rid of it, is not really a threat anymore. But will get killed in favor of dealing some damage here, and Teeves, opting to not use the fire breathing, instead is going to play the Battering Craighorn for strike 3/1 for 4 mana. Just wanting to develop the board a bit more. I am at 15. And I'm going to play a Noxious Ghoul, which will give all non-zombie creatures -1/-1. So I do take care of the Battering Craighorn and the Spitfire Handler, and only the Mercurial Kite remains. Get in for another 3. Say go. Now the Shepherd Rot being able to deal 3 damage a turn. The Noxious Ghoul also being able to swing in for additional 3. Not threatening lethal this turn, but getting pretty close. Alright, there's a Morph creature. And getting in for 2. I'm actually not sure which Morph creature this is. It might be the nameless one, which has power toughness equal to the number of wizards. Which right now is 0. And I'm just checking Cover of Darkness right now to make sure that Morph creatures can't block, which they cannot. But I think I just drew a Gigapede. Nice way to push damage. Assuming I can keep finding creatures to pitch to it to bring it back. I also have a Gem Palm Polluter, so I'm trying to do a little bit of math. Can I just win here? I think I can. So we're going to go Nameless Ghoul, or Noxious Ghoul, sorry, and Proteus Machine in for 5. I'm going to Gem Palm for 3, and then tap Shepherd Rot for 3, and that is Xaxes. Yep, we are scooping it up and going to game number 2. And here we are in game number 2. Nice to see my deck do the thing. Teeves definitely had a lot of good removal there. I do think maybe using that Spark Spray on the Shepherd Rot might have been a better plan there, but still was keeping pace for a good amount of time. We're just doing land go for the first little bit here. But there is the Spitfire Handler once again. If I don't have a early drop, I do not. This could potentially be getting in for 3 damage. I could be holding up removal or something, so I don't know for sure. Yeah, I'm just getting in for 1. And then out comes the Mistform Dreamer. I believe it's a 2/1 flyer. Can become any creature type for 1 mana. But again, another flyer. Really great art from Matthew Mitchell as well. I'm just going to play a morph here. Say go. A couple of options of what this could be. I didn't actually catch it. But probably the Proteus machine. I had to guess. And, yep, not doing anything to block. Just going to take 2. And here is the nameless one. Power tone is equal to the number of wizards. Now, it itself is a wizard, and so is the... Actually, no, the Mistformed Dreamer is technically an illusion. So it's just a 1/1 right now. Can become a 2/2 for 1 mana from the Mistformed Dreamer. Oh, and that is actually not a Proteus machine. What is that? I'm trying to remember what that creature is in my deck. Give me 1 sec while I pull that up. Alright, just getting in for 2. That is a Snarling Undorak, which I'm going to turn it face up. And unfortunately, in the deck photo, it's covered, so I have to scryfall it really quick. But I believe it's fairly large, at least a 3. Just passing the turn here. A little bad that that's all I could do that turn. Okay, so it has a pump ability. You pay 3 mana, target beast gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Otherwise, it's just a 3/3 for 4. Okay, we're paying 1 to make the Mistformed Dreamer a wizard, and pumping up the Spitfire Handler for 2. So I'm taking 4, 5, 6, 7. And not done yet, playing out a Goblin Grappler as well, which has Provoke, which can make any of my creatures, even if they're tapped, block it. It's just a 1/1. But a good way to also push damage through. I'm at 10. This is problematic. Do I even have another creature? Doesn't really look like it. I have a Gem Palm I can play out. Looks like maybe I have Lingering Death in hand as well. Trying to decide if there's something worth killing with that. Or a Corpse Harvester. Alright, Corpse Harvester is coming down. This is a 5 mana 3/3 that I can pay to sack a zombie, go find a zombie and a swamp card, put them into my hand. So, kind of a tutor effect. I think it's in here mostly just because it's a zombie. Although being able to find a Noxious School here would actually be pretty good. Oh, sorry, I don't even have to sack a zombie. I can sack any creature to go find a swamp and a zombie. So that's actually not too bad. If I can survive, that'd be good enough. Let's see. Noxious School is 5 mana. No, that won't be good enough. I'll be 1 mana short. I can't sack the Unadorak or whatever it is to the Corpse Harvester to go get Noxious School to then board wipe. I think, again, I need to, let's actually look this up. Nameless one, is that a 2/1 or a 2/2? If it was a 2/1, I can wipe the board. Or sorry, the Mistformed Dreamer. Okay, we're getting in with everything, forcing the Corpse Harvester to block the Grappler. And I'm gonna block the Pumping Goblin. But I don't really see a good way out of this. Okay, so making the Mistformed Dreamer a wizard. And what do they have in hand? Pinpoint Avalanche. Okay, no, we're just gonna pump the Spitfire Handler. Pinpoint Avalanche, thankfully, can't deal damage to me.
This is a wizard.
Oh, it counts all wizards.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I take 5.
These trade.
Trade, and then
And this dies.
Okay, so those will trade.
And then it's your
The
turn.
Grappler dies, and I take 4. I take 5. I must have missed point damage there. That's fine. The Mistform Dreamer is a 2/1. So if I just happen to rip the Noxious Ghoul, I do board wipe here, but I don't think that's the case. And instead, I am going to use Lingering Death on the Dreamer.
and then
But I don't think it matters here.
yeah, sure. I'll play Sprouting Vines. I get
I'm also going to go Sprouting Vines, which will go find me 2 lands, right? Because it's find a land, put it in your hand with Storm.
I don't think it really matters in terms of
Not exactly what I want to be doing here.
draw something that's not a land next turn. We'll see. I'll still draw a land. I think we're having the opposite issue.
But maybe just trying to open up the door to finding answers.
Yeah, this is game 1 roll reversal.
Right. I will pass to you after that,
Okay.
and we'll see if I survive.
I do have a Dripping Dead in hand as well, which I can cast next turn. But I think if Teebs finds a low-cost wizard, I'm just dead. Because there's a, not a Solar Blast, a Pinpoint Avalanche for the Corpse Harvester.
I'll pay 1 to make this a wizard.
Make that a wizard.
And then I will swing in for.
Get in for 4.
There's 1 fewer wizard.
Go to 1.
And then I sack this.
That one will die, and it'll be my go. Again, still live. If oh, there is a Noxious Ghoul. I'm at 1 though, but I have to play it.
That was a good top deck. Once again,
Yep, Noxious Ghoul coming down. All non-zombies get -1, -1.
and pass.
Say go. Oh, what's happening?
4, 5.
Oh no. The Aven Fate Shaper, the 7-drop 4/5 flyer coming into play. Get a look at the top 4 cards in your library, put them back in any order. If there's even one here that deals 1 damage to me, I'm just dead. But I'm dead next turn because I have no way to deal with the Fate Shaper. I've already used my 1 removal spell, the Lingering Death, which wouldn't even have saved me here because it waits till the end of my opponent's turn to sack it. Just a land for turn here.
I guess we'll keep digging. I'm gonna cycle.
Gem Palm you to cycle. So deal 1, draw a card.
Oh, it's a gem plum.
That's another zombie, but it's not enough. That's Severed Legion. Good recursive creature, but yeah, I have no way to deal with this flyer. So I'm going to cycle Crimson Tusker. I'm looking for anything at this point. I don't know what I can find. I'm trying to look through my list to see if there's anything that can block. So I get a land and then I get to draw a card.
He's a big guy, though.
He's a big guy. I would prefer to play him, but he doesn't have reach.
Yep.
Okay. And don't forget, you can take 1. I don't think it's gonna be relevant off of
yeah.
Looter. You can cut if you'd like. I don't like I said, I don't know.
And that's a Patron of the Wild. And I think that's good enough to go to game 3.
Alright, game 3.
And here we are in game number 3. Alright, both decks getting to their thing. My deck showing that sign of weakness about not having enough removal and really just needing to be the aggressive threat, otherwise I will lose. I'm not winning this long game, and I'm also not liking my starting hand, so we're going to cut to when I've got a keepable 1. Alright, looking for a keepable 6 here. Teebs kept her starting 7. And that's a decent amount of lands, but I think keepable. I don't know if there's anything any good low drops. I do have the Crimson Tusker. I can at least cycle to get into higher drops if I need to, but it looks like I'm actually considering putting that back. I don't know if that's a good idea. Okay, putting back a Nantuko Husk. I'm going to start things off with a Plains. Oh no, I forgot about putting in the sideboards here. So I'm recalling that I had a Pacifism in my pool, and because I have the Croson Tusker, I felt like I could splash for a Pacifism. So there's a Shepherd of Rot. So that's how bad my removal is in my pool. I had to splash white for Pacifism, which isn't even great removal. It's fine, but it's not what you want to be doing. Okay, we have the Fugitive Wizard coming on in. I take the chance and block with the Shepherd Rot to trade. And now... Ooh, we also have a sideboard card coming in from Teebs. And I don't actually know what it is, but it looks like it's a 1/2. Potentially a wizard. I'm going to go ahead and play a Morph. Could be any of several things. The Lonely Sandbar is the play here. And Crown of Fury on Mystery Creature. Crown of Fury gives the enchant creature +1 and first strike. Oddly enough, not swinging in and use it defensively. No, we are swinging in. Okay, that makes sense. You can sacrifice the crown, by the way, to give it and any other creature that share creature type with it +1/+0 and first strike till end of turn. So, cool little onboard combat trick. Yeah, what is this creature? It's from Onslaught. I play a second Morph and pass. Ooh, there's a Flame Wave Invoker. Considering that as the play. Okay, the mystery card is a Riptide Biologist. Protection from Beasts. That's actually kind of good against my deck. 2-drop 1/2 that has Morph for 3. The art on it is super sweet too, because it's by artist Justin Sweet. But all right, we have a nameless one here. This is a 2/2 currently, thanks to the Riptide Wizard, Riptide Biologist. Card I've legitimately never seen before, or if I have, I've blocked out all memory of it. I've probably seen it before, I just never looked that close. All right, we are cycling the Croson Tusker here. This is kind of an interesting call, because I could potentially get up to 7 mana at some point, and a 6/5 is still very good into this board. But maybe just wanting to continually hit my land drops and find additional threats. I am going to play the land for turn here too, just to speed things up, and I draw another land. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to swing in with anything. Alright, we're going to get a little aggressive. Threaten some damage. Teep says okay, take 2. And pass the turn. Now the Patron of the Wild Morph does take 3 mana. Remember that from last time. You see, I think some removal spells in Teebs' hand, as well as the Flame Wave Invoker. Not up to that 8 mana yet, but getting close. Definitely doable in Old School Sealed, where it is quite a bit slower. Looks like I have a Corpse Harvester in hand. Okay, we're swinging in with both. Now I can block the Nameless one, but instead opting to block the Riptide. Oh, Vitality Charm gives target creature +1/+1 and trample. That's the mode I'm assuming I'm choosing, and not the make a 1/1. However, it looks like there is a Pinpoint Avalanche in Teebs' hand, and I believe my Morph creature is going to get avalanched. Oh, there's also a I called this out in the deck tag. It's something will. It cares about the number of wizards. You gotta pay 2 for each wizard in play. Trying to decide if destroying my creature or countering the spell is worth it. Looks like destroying the creature is the play. And that was a pretty good one, because yeah, that's a Snarling Unodorak. And I will take 2 off of the nameless one. Alright, land for turn. Doing a little mana organization here. Okay, so I do have a Patron of the Wild as well, so we're just playing out all the morph creatures. That also, I think, means... Oh gosh, what's the other morph creature I have? Proteus Machine? I think that's what it is. But, important to note, the Patron of the Wild morph ability is live. So if there's a combat trick here,
I'll pay 3 for a Flame Wave Invoker.
can't get countered with the will, which I believe that card is it 3 mana?
Yep.
Might be 4. Oh no, I have another sideboard card that I'm not entirely sure what it is. Alright, we're turning it face up. It's a 1/1. I think this goes and finds me a land or makes something happen. I don't know. Let's see. Or I'm just turning it face up for no value. That seems unlikely. And I'm just going to pass the turn. Oh, this is a Broodhatch Nantuko. It's a 2-drop 1/1. Whenever it's dealt damage, I may put that many 1/1 green insect creature tokens into play, and also has morph for 3. So I think just trying to be efficient with my mana there. Saying if you have a removal spell, it's probably damage based. And it's also a fairly decent wall against Teebs' threats, as not wanting to give me a bunch of 1/1s makes a lot of sense. Corpse Harvester. Again, the tutor effect. Looks like this one will get countered. We'll have to pay 2 for each wizard. I only have 3 mana. There's 2 wizards, so I need 4. I do still have the Vitality Charm up, though. Okay, Flame Wave and Mercurial Kite is the play here. 1 mana away from Flame Wave Invoker just being able to shoot things down. Or shoot me down, I should say. Okay, this is kind of a tricky bit here. I have drawn the Noxious Ghoul, but it doesn't make sense for me to play it. I can't kill the Flame Wave Invoker with it. It basically just kills my Brood Nantuko. Getting in with 2 in the air. Down to 14. There is the 8 mana for the Flame Wave Invoker. And alright, I'm just gonna swing in. This is kind of a last ditch effort. Teebs is at 18. Oh, we are actually gonna block the Nantuko. So I'm gonna buff the Nantuko +3/+3. It'll take 2 from the Riptide. We'll make 2 1/1s. It's not bad. It'll also stick around, which is also important. And it will kill the Riptide. This definitely doesn't get me out of the woods, though. I'm still going to be taking 5 off of this Flame Wave Invoker, unless Teebs has something else that she wants to do with the mana. But no, I'll make 2 1/1 insects. It'll survive, and Teebs will take 1.
then I'll pass to you.
I don't know if that got caught or not.
Oh, and
Oh yeah, just making sure.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and I think Teebs might have missed a Invoker activation there. Okay, we have Lavamancer's skill is the draw. This enchant creature cares about if the creature is a wizard, so we're putting it on the nameless one. So you can tap it to deal 1 to target creature. If the creature it's equipped to is a wizard, instead it deals 2.
And then I'll go to combat.
Okay, getting in for 2.
I'll take 2.
Now, notably, it being able to deal 2 damage to the Brood Hatch is actually a downside. It'd be better if it could deal 1. Because the Brood Hatch doesn't care about combat damage, it just cares about damage. Now, here's the thing. I still have the Noxious Ghoul in hand, but it's even worse now, because now everything of mine would die. So instead, I'm swinging in with everything. The Nameless one is only a 1/1, I believe. Unless the Flame Wave Invoker is a wizard.
Four?
Okay, just taking all the damage. Also not sure why. Yeah. Forest should not be tapped.
Like, what did I tap that for?
Okay, we're gonna play the Gigapede.
Need a double green. For Gigapede, that has
6/1 Shroud.
and at the beginning of my upkeep, I may discard it.
I have to pitch. I believe it's a creature card
To return it.
to bring it back. My upkeep. Say go. Oh, instead it's gonna get countered with Storm.
And that's if I pay 2 twice.
2
right?
per shroud, yeah. So 4.
I also open that card. I will also play.
Oh, and Gigapede only cares about discarding a card. It doesn't have to be a creature card.
Step. I'll tap this.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot my Morphling Proteus Machine. Notably, Proteus Machine doesn't really work very well with Noxious Ghoul because Morph doesn't count as a creature entering. And I am fully shields down.
Go to combat. Swing 4.
Gonna get in for 4.
And I'll pay 3.
Play out the Mistform Dreamer. Say go.
Go ahead.
And if I don't have a way to deal with these flyers, I am dead. There's a swamp. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to swing out because the only card in my hand is a Noxious Ghoul. I'm gonna have to play it to kill the Mistform Dreamer. Now, if Teebs blocks with the Nameless one and makes the Mistform Dreamer a wizard, it looks like that will happen here. Block 1. Yeah, we gotta pay the 1 to make it a wizard.
And then I'm gonna
Alright. So this is actually good for me.
take 3.
I guess it didn't really matter either way. Okay, so we're gonna play the Nameless Ghoul. Or Noxious Ghoul. I keep saying Nameless Ghoul, it's Noxious Ghoul. Nameless 1 is tripping me up a little bit. And if I got this correctly,
Okay.
yes, Nameless 1 will die. Noxious Ghoul is on the board, can block the Flame Wave Invoker, and I can survive for a turn, but I do need to get rid of that Flame Wave Invoker ASAP. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, the Proteus Machine. Yeah, it doesn't work with the Noxious Ghoul. ETB doesn't matter. So yeah, I was looking for a way to get rid of the Flame Wave Invoker.
And then I'll play.
There's a Goblin Grappler.
Go ahead.
And now I need anything but a land. There's a Pacifism. So I did draw my splash card. But I don't think it does enough. Yeah, I'm just going to swing in for 3 because I'm dead no matter what. That Goblin Grappler lets Thieves push 4 damage through and then can activate.
Pass you.
Okay, Pacifism. Yeah, it's still not enough. 7 is still good enough.
Land also. Yeah, land also kills me.
We got to see the pass to him at least, though. Yep, I take
Yeah, and this is awful.
3.
Yeah. You may.
Just checking if you have to. The provoke doesn't matter. That's game, and Teebs takes it down to 3.
Oh, that was cool.
What is up, everyone? Welcome on into round 2 of the Onslaught Block Sealed. I don't know if tournament's the right word. We're just here having a ton of fun playing a old throwback sealed format that some of us never got to play, some of us haven't played in forever, and some of us may never get to do so again because it was a little bit on the pricey side, but boy was it a ton of fun. If you missed the deck building video, I highly recommend you go check that out so you can see us crack our tournament pack of Onslaught and our other 2 packs of Legions and Scourge, see if we pulled anything cool. But these 2 players were not on camera for that, so let's go to the deck list and see if they pulled anything rad. First up, we have David on a really sweet white-black clerics list, and I'm just going to call out the elephant in the room, running a Chroma Angel of Wrath, and I think the goal is to be able to hard cast it. You definitely can get to 8 mana in this format. Sealed is a pretty slow format, especially back in the day. You may notice also the rad Onslaught Block Sealed stamp there. Teebs, who was in our round 1 match, actually made this stamp for the event, so a really cool way to mark something that honestly doesn't happen very often and is only getting more expensive to do as the years go by. So very cool to be able to showcase this for you guys. So this is a clerics deck. It does have Edgewalker as well. Multicolor cards, a little rare, and this one just fits in perfectly with the overall theme. Now, this being sealed, it's not as perfect as draft, so there is some other creature types here. We do see some zombies and some soldiers, but it looks like this is primarily trying to be a bit more of an aggressive deck, which in white, who would have guessed? We do have stuff like Wretched Anurid, which is a 3/3 for 2, but deals damage to you every time a creature, doesn't matter which player, comes into play. And also Premodern White Weenie staple Whipcorder being a very good get as a good way to take care of an opponent's best creature. Speaking of removal, there's also a 1 of SWAT and a 1 of Pacifism to help complete the removal suite, and a few combat tricks as well. The Stoic Champion, which is also a double white 2-drop 2/2, which cares about cards getting cycled, either player giving it +2/+2, and there is a decent amount of cycling in this deck. The Unburden, the SWAT, the Disciple of Malice. I'm sure there's a couple others here that I'm missing. And also Gem Palm Avenger up there in the top right, the 6-drop 3/5 does also care about cycling as well, but it gives all soldiers +1/+1 and first strike, it of course being a soldier as well. And there's a couple other soldier tricks in here too. A Piety Charm, which has destroy target enchant creature, or target soldier gets +2/+2, or attacking doesn't cause creatures you control to tap this turn. All very good modes for limited, I feel like, especially if you just incidentally have soldiers, which there are a decent amount here, including some bird soldiers flying, the evasive threats being very good. We saw in round 1, of course, a Chroma just being able to end games by itself, but the 4 drops, Aven, Liberator, and Dive Bomber could potentially close games on their own. And Dive Bomber even actually being able to be a removal spell as well, being able to tap it, sack it to deal 2 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. All in all, really cool list, really cool to see in a Chroma pulled. That's going to be tough for his opponent to beat, but let's dive into the other list, see what's happening there. Next up is also David M, with what I'm gonna call 5 color good stuff. This is, and I had to double check this, the only list I got from it, it's 30 cards, so a bit high for a sealed pool, especially when you don't have the lands in there. Obviously you need 40 cards for a playable deck, so I'm hoping this is what he ran and we're not going to get blindsided in the games. But there's some crazy stuff here. One of the coolest things I'm seeing right off the bat is for his top end, a 7-drop dragon, Killmouth Dragon, has Amplify 3, and you can tap it to deal damage equal to the number of +1/+1 counters on it to target creature or player. So assuming you have enough dragons, the thing can get very large and act as its own removal spell for some of the lower flyers before it can go in and finish things off. However, I'm not seeing a lot of other dragons in this list. I don't know if I see any. There might be some changelings that I'm not noticing, but a 7-mana 5/5 flyer is pretty good, especially if you can find a way to give it counters through another method. Now there's another creature that cares about dragons. It looks like the foil that David pulled is Bladewing's Thrall, which is a 4-drop 3/3 that has flying as long as you control a dragon, and when a dragon comes into play you may return it from your graveyard to play, so there is a bit of synergy there. We also see Dragon Scales, which is a 2-drop enchant creature that gives that creature +1/+2 attacking and doesn't cause it to tap, but when a creature with converted mana cost 6 or more comes into play, you may return Dragon Scales from your graveyard to play, enchanting that creature. So giving pseudo vigilance and also a buff is not too shabby. And I'm trying to think if there's a way for David to get these cards into the graveyard for that benefit. Other than that, let's go through some of the removal. I do see a fair amount of ways to blow up artifacts and enchantments with a Wipe Clean and Break Asunder. There's also a Clutch the Undeath, which can buff some of his zombies. It looks like he has a couple of them, but also can act as a pretty decent removal spell for lower power creatures. And yeah, this is a wild and wacky list. I don't know what half of these cards are, and there's a lot of interesting directions happening here, so I'm excited to see how it plays out, see if David's Mad Brew comes together. So let's get into the games. And here we go. David is on the left, and you know what? David is also on the right. So at least we can guarantee that David will win this match. Now, David C is the one on black-white. David M is the one on, assuming the deck list is correct, and we'll find out here very shortly, a 5-color good stuff list running quite a few more cards than normal. Maybe just so excited to play this format. Looks like that might be the case. Is going to shuffle it back, so we'll cut to when he's got a keepable one. All right, David looking for a keepable 6 here. I should also mention that he is the one who found this box of sealed Onslaught tournament packs and kind of kickstarted this whole thing, asked the community if anyone was interested in potentially doing a draft event for it. And you know what? David's deck is nothing like the deck list we have. I'm seeing a Croson Tusker. I'm seeing a very much more focused red-green deck. So this is interesting. We're going to be going into this a bit more blind. Unfortunately, it looks like maybe we just got the coolest hits from David in his deck photo, maybe not understanding that we wanted the draft list. But David C starting us off with the plains. Say go. Oh, a Wooded Foothills. All right, so David M actually pulled some heat out of this pack, or out of this tournament pack, getting a fetch land here.
Oh, look at this too. This is a really solid.
Are we going to see, I believe there was an Elvish Pioneer in hand, so we can get the Wombo combo. Yep, get to play out another land for free. We'll enter tapped. Pseudo Mana Dork works really well if you have a mana heavy hand, and just like that, Breaking Serve into Mana Accelerants. Plains here for David. I'm going to tap for 3. I'm going to see a morph here. This could be any number of things, but I think it was a Daru Healer. You can morph it face up for 1 and has tap prevent next 1 damage that will be dealt to target creature or player. And David M just playing a mountain and pass. Oh wait, no, the healer isn't actually in hand for David C. Okay, we're gonna swing in for 2. Hopefully we get the dice here as well. And a second morph. I believe that one is the healer. Okay, we're not going to get to use the dice. Hopefully they get updated though, but David M at 18. Gonna fetch here, go to 17. Find in a forest. And is it time for the... I think I saw a Berserk Myrmidont. Yep, that's what it is. And what does it do? Well, it's covered up in the deck photo, so... or not even the deck photo. We've established this isn't the deck photo.
Is that the same as Rampage? Rampage 1?
So let me look it up real quick. It is a 3/3, and whenever a beast becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each beast blocking it. So kind of like, what was that old mechanic? Rampage? but it's still a 3/3, which does make it a good wall for these 2/2s. However, there is a Guilty Conscience. Whenever an enchanted creature deals damage, Guilty Conscience deals that much damage to the enchanted creature. So kind of the reverse of the Spirit Link. Well, a weird version of Spirit Link, I should say. Doesn't deal it to the player, just to the creature. So essentially the Guilty Conscience that makes the creature be able to block once. Unless its toughness is higher.
So, like, okay, let's say
So that giving David a little bit of pause here.
and this gets +1. It's a 4/4.
Maybe just trying to figure out the best attack for this. He can still swing in, take out one of those 2 morphs if David C decides to block.
So long as you block, then my creature is
Notably, if David C decides to flip the healer and use its ability, the Guilty Conscience, I think, counts that too and won't actually kill the Myrmidon. Okay, we see a Croson Tusker, is that a Crown of Thorns? It's the one that gives +1, +0 on first strike. Okay, we are swinging in with it. Is David going to double block here? Nope, just going to take 3. Go to 12. And then, yeah, let the Guilty Conscience do its thing. Untap and go to David's turn. David M with a ton of open mana. Gonna get in for 4. No blocks. And David C being a real pal and updating those dice, although
17 goes down to 13.
yeah, not sure. Yeah, 17 take 4, yeah. 13 is the right number. This is why if you're gonna keep track of something with something other than the dice, you probably should use paper. The dice are for us. Paper is definitely the preferred way, I think, for most people to play in a tournament. Being able to track what happened throughout the course of the game is just so valuable. Okay, we see some removal spells as well. I forget the name of the one he's looking at right now, but it is a deal 4, or you can cycle it to deal 1. I'm just going to pass the turn. Looks like he's got some big creatures in play, but not quite enough mana to utilize them. The Croson Tusker is 6-drop, 7-drop, so we're a ways away from that. Okay, we are going to deal 4.
Cast Solar Blast, dealing 3 damage to target creature or player. I'm going to do it to this one.
To what I believe was the healer. Okay, we're going to flip up the Aven Liberator, which when it turns face up, target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice. So choosing to save that creature, the healer, and is going to get in for a 4, and now has a flying 2/3 on the field. David M down to 9. Does find a land, I believe. No, did not find a land. Okay, that is problematic. Now, he could put this
I'm going to pass.
crown on the Elder Pioneer. No, just going to pass. I'm not sure if he has much interaction in hand, or if he's just been stuck on 5 lands. Had such a strong start. Alright, we're getting in for 4. Oh, there's a Tribal Unity? Is that what that is?
Block, and then pump it.
Yeah, just gonna make his elf a 3/3, I think. And we're paying a white and a black for Skull Tap. Additional cost. Sack it, draw 2 cards. Sack a creature, sorry. So we're gonna sack the 1 game blocked. Trying to decide if there's anything he actually wants to do here.
Take 2.
Oh, Skull Tap is a sorcery. All right. Luckily catching that before too much else had happened. I don't know if David got a chance to look at the cards yet. If so, they probably should be shuffled. Okay, and instead is going to play out the Ghost Cloak Skirmisher. 4-drop 2/3 flyer. Whenever he becomes blocked, you may untap it and remove it from combat. Still, another flyer, good way to push damage. David is at 7, not 9. Are we cycling the Tusker? We are. I think this probably should have happened a little earlier, especially seeing the flyers. Oh, he should also... Did he draw a card off the cycling too? No, it doesn't come into play. Goes in hand, and then you draw a card. Why would Savage also draw here? Maybe there's good like sub-beast synergy here. Alright, just gonna pass the turn. And yeah, David M needing a way to deal with these flyers, or is just dead on board next turn. Looks like SWAT is the draw from David. Destroy target creature with power 2 or less, which right now is either of those. Updating the dice for us there. Is opting to just SWAT the Wirewood Savage now. Untap, say go. Do you have a way to block both flyers? Well, you don't. We're going to game number 2. And here we are in game number 2. Well, I do have to say that I'm glad David M is not playing 5-color good stuff and actually has a real deck. It just was a little on the slower side. Flyers are also just very good in this format, it seems like. Green does. I'm trying to think if they do have a couple of ways of interacting. Ooh, we do see an Elvish Warrior in David M's hand. One of my favorite cards, if not my favorite card growing up. It's a double green 2/3 elf warrior. Kind of trash by today's standards, but I loved the art. I loved the power toughness for a 2-drop, and the flavor text also was pretty fan-freaking-tastic. Are we going to get to see it played out here? We see the fetch land. Are we getting a double green? Or are we gonna... Okay, we are getting double green. So, if I remember correctly, Elvish Warriors flavor text is something along the lines of, my stories of war are the most often requested around the fireside, are the ones I am least fond of telling, or something like that. You know, cool veteran, doesn't like war, but can kick ass. You see him wielding double bow staffs. Oh, and we're getting a call away from the table real quick. So we're going to cut to when David M comes back. All right, not sure what that was about, but David M is back. And did find the mountain. Pretty big. I was hoping he wasn't going to get hamstrung on mana, but is going to be able to get in for 2 with this warrior. And then we're going 3 for the Savage. Say go. And it looks like David actually might be the one who's a little hurting for his second color. He's looking at that Guilty Conscience, but instead he's looking to morph a creature. Great way to get around not having black. Of course, can't do much against the Elvish Warrior, but can at least trade with the Savage. We are... Oh, he did drop a forward land. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, taking care of the healer, getting in for 4, right? Yeah. David down to 14. He's going to go ahead and play out the Glory Seeker, 2-drop 2/2 soldier. That's all it does. Again, can trade with the Savage, but not doing much against that Elvish Warrior. Ooh, but there's a Crown of Fury. That's what it was. That's right. So +1/+0 first strike. You can sack it to give all creatures of a specific type. I believe it has to be the type of the creature that it's attached to, but they're both elves, so it doesn't matter. Okay, we're going to swing in with both. Play Piety Charm, giving target soldier +2/+2. And I think in response, Dave is going to sack it to give his Elvish Warrior +1 and hit for 3 still. So this looking very different than game 1. David getting very aggressive here, but we do have a flyer come down, a flyer that can block the Skirmisher 2/3. And David here on end step, it looks like, is going to force cycle the Wirewood Guardian, another one of my favorite cards growing up. Not only did it help you fix mana, but it was also just a big, beefy threat. Another land here for David. Finding the lands now. And we're going to play out, is that a Skirk Outrider? I think. So we are seeing some of the cards from his deck photo actually making the deck. So Skirk Outrider, a 2/2, and gets +2/+2 as long as you control a beast. So no beasts yet, but we do see one in hand for David. It's the 4-drop 3/1 first strike. However, it does need double red. I think David only has 1 red. Alright, getting in for 2 in the air. And say go. Yep, only 1 red, so this needs to be a mountain. Unfortunately, David not finding it. I'm not sure what this other card of his is. It's like some kind of worm. And gonna get aggressive with the warrior and the goblin. Gonna block the goblin and take 2 off of the Oh, I see. Okay, so we're cycling the Gem Palm Avenger to give all soldiers +1/+1 first strike, draw a card, and then go to David's turn. Keeping that soldier on the field as a good blocker. Should have probably blocked the Elvish Warrior, but maybe wanting to get around any beasts potentially coming out. And I found what that enchantment is that David played. Alright, so we're going to get in for 2. Gonna leave the blocker open for the Elvish Warrior. Play Morph. So that 3-drop enchantment that David M played is Overwhelming Instinct. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, draw a card. That seems pretty good, if he can get that to happen. He's only got 1 right now, but it's definitely on the back foot. I'm gonna say go. And I think David C has turned the corner on this match. Still not out of the woods yet. Any big creature from David here could be potentially problematic. He does have, I think, 8 mana and now has the double red, so next turn he actually can play the 3/1 first striker. David's just gonna say go. Has another land, and we're slamming it down. Maybe. Maybe deciding if he wants to try and morph it, try and get some extra value out of it. Nope, we're just gonna play it down. 3/1 first striker for 4 mana. You can morph it. That's basically it. Alright, so we in for 2. David M has no more cards in hand, so David C has all available knowledge. He's just gonna take 2. Or is double blocking. Might be double blocking here. Okay, we are double blocking, flipping the the bird again, the Aven Liberator. Give it pro green so it properly trades. Actually, didn't even need to. designate that I didn't take any damage, but not a big deal. We got a bunch of flyers on board and is... Yeah, we're going to be swinging for 4. David M down to 7? 8? 7, I guess. Alright, David Z tapping 4. Find this card. Dive Bomber. Flyer, you can tap it, sack it, deal 2 damage to our attack or blocking creature. It is also just a 2/2. So, can double block this Bloodhorn, I think it's what it's called. We're just going to single block though. And David doesn't have lethal on board. He actually could have just not blocked and swung for the win, but I don't know if it'll matter. Also had the... What was it? The Guilty Conscience. Okay, David down to 1. Gonna put the Guilty Conscience on him and just say go. Not playing out any other creatures to block or anything. Will this make a difference? That's a land, and... Yeah, there's a naturalize, and that will be... Swinging it for 3. Okay, we hit the Guilty Conscience. Yep, not going out or down without a fight. But David has this all wrapped up. Swinging in with everything, that is going to be game, and David C takes it down in a clean 2-0. What's up, guys? Welcome back to round 3 of the Onslaught Sealed block here in Portland, Oregon. We've got one last matchup for you before we end this very special event, so let's dive in. First up, we have Joe, and he's in 3 colors, running black, red, and green, good old Jund. And it looks like his main 2 tribes are goblins and elves working together at last. There is a couple of zombies in there as well, but I think the big hit for Joe here is this Dragon Mage, a 7-drop 5/5 that whenever it deals combat to a player, each player discards their hand and draws a new 7. Beyond that, we do see some synergy cards. We have a Goblin Burrows to help out all those goblins. Crown of Fury just being a very good typal card, as well as a Tribal Unity, which also can just really end games if you're not expecting it. I'm not seeing a ton of removal here, really only SWAT being, I think, the main hard piece of removal, but he does have some combat tricks with the Patron of the Wild, Vitality Charm, potentially even a Festering Goblin. And I guess there's a little bit of beast synergy here with the Wirewood Savage. I do see a couple of beasts, both in green and red. And yeah, this just looks like a really fun deck. It even has Elvish Warrior, my favorite card, growing up, and I've already gone to that, I think, in the first video, which if you haven't watched, I highly recommend. Caustic and I opened up our tournament packs and 2 supplemental packs and built decks and talked through our experience with the set and of course what we had opened. Really fun time. But that's not this, and this is the last game of this set. We only played 3 matches. Whoever has the best record at the end of this will come out the winner. I will go through that at the end of the video, but before then, who is Joe playing against? Next up, we have Thomas Q with Black White Zombie Clerics, and this one almost does look like a draft deck, keeping it to 2 colors, having a decent amount of removal, good synergy with his creatures, and even stuff like hand attack. Oof, this is going to be a hard deck to beat. First off, the hits looks like he's got a Force Bubble, which is honestly a card I am not familiar with. I don't know if I've ever actually seen it in play, but seems nasty. If your opponent is just swinging in with small creatures or you're able to make profitable blocks, it's going to take them connecting with 4 or more damage in a single turn to get rid of this force field. And even then, they still don't deal damage to you until the next turn they attack. Pair that with Convalescence Care, which at the beginning of your upkeep, you have 5 or less life, you gain 3 life and draw a card. Seems like Thomas is ready for a very grindy game. Now notably, he is a little weak on flyers, but I didn't actually notice that many flyers in Joe's deck, if any really, because I mean black, red, green doesn't really have a high flying creature count. I think Dive Bomber is the only one that Thomas has here, and it does act as a removal spell as well. Some other interesting pieces are Ancestor's Prophet, which is a 5-drop 1/5. If you tap 5 untapped clerics you control, you gain 10 life, and he does actually have 5 clerics, including some black ones. Some other cool callouts: a Shepherd of Rot. There is, as I mentioned, a decent amount of zombies here, including a Carrion Feeder to kind of back up a sacrifice strategy to make this pretty big. Now it seems like a high cost in limited until you realize he also has a Reaping of the Graves, which if he can get his storm count up high enough can bring back 2, 3, maybe even 4 creatures after Carrion Feeder has sacked them, and has great removal like Lingering Death, Wing Shards, even good combat tricks like a Chroma's Blessing, Sunfire Balm, and I think I would count Sandskin as more removal. It's not quite a pacifism, as the creature that's equipped with it can block, but it does prevent it from ever dealing damage, either attacking or blocking. There's even some pieces of hand hate here with a 1-of Blackmail, which is a personal favorite of mine. I even ran that in Modern for a little bit because I needed a 9th and 10th discard card for 1 mana that could also hit lands, and a 1-of Siphon Mine, which is not really a great rate, but in limited can be pretty fantastic. And notable in this matchup, he also has a Foothill Guide, which does have protection from goblins, so Joe might be in a bit of trouble here. Anyways, those are the deck lists. Let's get into the games. And here we go. Joe is on the left, Thomas is on the right. Now, I would say that Joe definitely has the more aggressive deck, but with the mana constraints of being 3 colors could potentially stumble. Not a lot of mana fixing. I don't think actually any mana fixing, no dual lands, nothing like that. Thomas does have a decent amount of low drops and is in 2 colors, so maybe could get a bit of a aggressive lead just with that. Joe here deciding if he's keeping, given some cards to read. Take a look at Warbeak, sorry. Warbreak, Trumpeteer. I'll get it right eventually. Gonna just play out a Forest and pass. Tom's gonna go Plains and pass. Very slow start actually from Joe. Mountain pass. We do see the Foothill Guide. Yes, Foothill Guide. Pro Goblins. It is a 1-drop. He actually, I guess Thomas must have just drawn it that turn because he could have played it out the turn before. We see a black card in Joe's hand. I believe it's a Misery Charm, which can destroy target cleric, and that is a cleric. Instead, we're going to play Morph. Pass the turn. And Thomas does actually have a swamp. Beautiful looking swamp too. I think is that a John Avon? Okay, we're gonna Lingering Death the Morph. Very aggressive. One of Thomas's 2 really good pieces of removal spells. Or good pieces of removal. And the Lingering Death, yeah, does sack at the end of the opponent's turn. So this Morph will get in for 1. And Joe here going to cast a Snarling Undorak, which I think is a 3/3, and you can pay 3 to give target beast +1/+1 till end of turn. No, we're not doing that. First, get in for 2, I guess. Now, Joe can morph this Patron of the Wild for 3. Looks like that might be the case. To make it hits for 4 instead of 2. I don't know if that's worth it. Not developing board because that Lingering Death will still kill the creature. Yeah, Morph doesn't mean the enchantment goes away. It's still the same permanent on the board. Both players not having any issues with land draws, which is good. Ooh, here's a Siphon Mine. Every player except you discards a card. You draw a card for each card discarded this way. Fantastic in Commander. Okay. Pretty okay in Limited. And Joe needing to find one more color, but is going to choose to play out the Snarling Undarak this time. Good blocker for the Foothill Guide. Thomas having a lot of mana, but not really doing anything with it. I wonder if it's mostly combat tricks or if he is just holding a bunch of 5-drops. He doesn't have that many in the deck. But now would be time to drop something. And let's see, what is this? This is the Daunting Defender, 5-drop, 3/3. If a source would deal damage to a cleric, you control, prevent 1 of that damage, and in itself is a cleric. So the Foothill Guide not able to get in because it would still be taking 2 damage technically from this Undarak. And Joe, I believe, drew a Wave of Indifference, X and a red. Target creature, or X target creatures can't block this turn. Not really worth it right now. Good for pushing damage through late game though. And instead is looking at this Warbreak Trumpeteer, which is a 1-drop, but you do want to morph it. For XX and red, you can morph it and create X 1/1 goblins. Also looking at the Skirk Commando, which could also be pretty good. However, whenever it deals combat damage, it only deals 2. Specifically combat damage to a player. So it can't get rid of this Daunting Defender. However, if Joe is able to set up a instance where he's able to use the Wave of Indifference, could still take out the... Well, actually, no, sorry. The Foothill Guide has pro goblins, so actually the Skirk Commando couldn't hit it. He was able to swing in, though, with the Undarak. And Thomas happy to exchange blows here. That was an interesting call, as Thomas could have profitably blocked the Undarak. Okay, we are going to cast the big ol' Cleric Ancestor's Prophet. I believe this is one of Thomas's rares. Yep, 5-drop, 1/5. You can tap 5 untap Clerics, gain 10 life. He's 3/5 of the way there. There's a swat for Joe. Unfortunately, can only target the Goblin, or pro-Goblin Foothill Guide. But still might be worth it. I don't know, there was some case to playing this Skirk Commando face down. No, he didn't play it face down. Oh, he did play the Warbreak Trumpeteer. Right? Yes. So let's see, the Warbreak Trumpeteer. How much mana do they have? Oh, and you can't swat anyways, you don't have black mana. He has 5 mana, so he could morph the Warbreak for X equal to 2. Make 2 1/1s. That doesn't seem bad. Again, he does have Tribal Unity as well, so, and Crown of Fury, so there is definitely a case for going wide, but maybe just wanting to wait until he can get a few more lands. Looks like he actually pitched a land to that Siphon Mine, which makes sense. I mean, 5 mana in his deck. Yeah, I'm just showing off all the black and red cards he has. Okay, gonna get in for 3. Now, Joe does have to remember... Oh yeah, he can just pump the Snarling Undarak, give it +1/+1. So it will be able to kill that guy unless... What's this? I believe this is... Yeah, prevent the next 4 damage that we dealt to target creature or player this turn. So... He could cycle it, and it would still have the same effect, which I guess is what he's doing. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, he did cycle it for 2.
combat, but that's okay. Second
So they do still just bounce.
carrion feeder,
There's a carrion feeder.
and I'll pass to you. That's a pretty good one.
Maybe wanting to play that pre-combat just in case Joe did have another combat trick backup. And there's the tribal unity. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. If he's able to flip the goblin, make 2 more goblins, that's only 3. Tribal unity right now can buff for +2/+2, so he'd have swinging in if he chose to do it all in this turn and then next turn. Swinging in for 9 damage plus the Underrack. Not quite lethal, but just gonna pass the turn here. Again, Joe can morph at any time, so maybe waiting to do it on Thomas's end step.
Force bubble.
Ooh, there's the force bubble.
Counters on it instead.
Alright, we're talking about how this was going to be very problematic for any kind of low to the ground, go wide deck, as you need to be able to deal 4 points of damage to Thomas before the force bubble pops.
I'll pass.
And even then, it's not like the rest of the damage carries over. He'll have to wait until the next combat step to then deal damage. Ooh, Bonethorn Balisk. This beast here, 5 drop 4/2. Whenever a creature is turned face up, it deals 1 damage to a creature or player.
A little scary, but I guess I have my prevent damage cleric, so
Pretty good card actually in Joe's deck. I don't think I called it out in the deck tech. And things have stalled a little bit, but that'll help. This is Thomas's only flyer, Dive Bomber. 2/2 flyer for 4. Bird Soldier, so not a cleric. Thomas still looking for clerics number 4 and 5 to start tapping for 10 life. Another mountain here for Joe.
my board is so big.
Ooh, are we playing out the Skirk Commando? Looks like yes. But morphing it. That I don't 100%. I mean, I guess I get it. If it turns face up, deal a point damage. However, the way he did it, he shouldn't have tapped all 3 red.
Let's put a sand skin on him, so he will not be able to deal damage anymore.
Ooh, the sand skin. We're not doing that. Actually, don't know if that works. Let's see. Sand skin. Prevent all combat damage. Yep. Combat damage does not work. You can still sand skin to prevent it from attacking, but its ability of when cards are turned face up still works. Okay, there's a Daru Healer, cleric number 4. Gonna get in for 2 with the birds. Daru Healer is a 3 drop 1/2. You can tap to prevent the next 1 damage. That would be dealt to target creature or player this turn. So Joe wanting to take care of that fairly quickly, as that does turn off his Bonethorn Balisk fairly effectively. However, with all of these creatures, I hate to say it, but they're just sack fodder for the carrion feeder. Like, I don't know if there's a way for Joe to actually kill the carrion feeder, which I think is what he's trying to figure out. So if he turns stuff face up, targets a carrion feeder, Thomas will just sack something he doesn't care so much about, which could potentially be the Foothill Guide. This is really just a big board stall for Joe. Thomas is still able to consistently get in for 2 with that bird. So Joe needs a way to deal with it. Ooh, we're playing out the Goblin Psychopath. I don't think I called this one out in his deck either. There's a 4-mana 5/5. Whatever attacks or blocks, flip a coin. If you lose the flip, Next time it deals combat damage this turn, it deals that damage to you instead. High risk, high reward for a 5/5 for 4 mana. Ooh, and there is a Severed Legion. Severed Legion has Fear, which means that Thomas has yet another way to swing in for another 2 a turn. So putting the clock up twice as fast, and Joe needing to find something to do here. Okay, finds another land. He can now flip the Trumpeteer for X equal to 3. That is 3 more blockers. And then next turn can Tribal Unity for a lot of damage. I think it makes them all +4/+4, so 5/5s. I think that's what you do. I think you hold until Thomas's end step, flip the Trumpeteer, and then next turn, Tribal Unity. Okay, we're gonna flip up the Skirk Commando, deal 1 point of damage to the bird. That's not a good plan. Thomas has the prevent 1 point of damage. Is he gonna remember it? No, he's just gonna sack it to the Carrion Feeder. Forgets about the Daru Healer. I almost would have wanted to kept or keep the Bird Soldier, but more importantly, Joe flipping up the Trumpeteer for no extra goblins. Just trying to get that soldier out of the way. And is going to choose to swing in with the Psychopath. Pro Goblin. So the way... Okay, he's not going to do that. I would say the way this works, I don't think he even has to flip because the Pro Goblin creature can't take combat damage, I believe. Or do you still have to assign lethal damage? That's only with trample. Doesn't matter. He wasn't swinging in. Bad idea. Alright, Thomas just going to get in for 2. Take Joe down to 10. Pass the turn. Slowly but surely, Thomas is making progress. Again, that force bubble or whatever it is, proving to be problematic for Joe as well. Okay, cycling a lay waste there to draw a card. And we see the Defiant Elf, a 1/1 with trample. Not so scary by himself, but can be pretty nasty when paired with pump spells. Alright, Severed Legion get in for another 2. Joe down to 8. Again, needs to find a way around this force bubble. I don't know what's in either player's sideboard, what they opened beyond what was in their deck photo. But Joe specifically also has not seen any black mana. He's found both of his other colors fairly consistently. I don't know how much black he actually ended up putting in the deck. In the deck photo, it looks like 4 lands, which seems a little light. Seems like he was definitely more heavy on the forests, but it does have some double pip black cards as well. I don't know. 3 colors in this format. A little risky, especially with no mana fixing. Oh, did we actually end up getting the Trumpeteer with 1 goblin? Okay, we are going to get a Tribal Unity here. Okay, not blocking 2 of the goblins. We're going to tribal unity for a shit ton. Unfortunately, it's just going to pop the force bubble. He will get to kill the big cleric, but the foothill guide will survive. I don't think you need to roll for the psychopath. It can't deal combat damage. Correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong, but I don't think that works. Either way, Joe conceding here, so we're going to game number 2. And here we are in game number 2. So I did double check that both the Oracle text on Goblin Psychopath, and just making sure that protection does mean prevent combat damage, which prevent damage, which it does. So yeah, Goblin Psychopath being blocked by the Foothill Guide, which has pro Goblin, would mean nothing would happen. Joe would not have lost there, but I think it's pretty safe to say he would have lost eventually. Ooh, we got a foil swamp there. Very nice. Both players with 1-drops as well. I have to imagine Thomas opened that foil swamp. So we got a Festering Goblin versus a Blood Celebrant. Pro black and pale life, add a mana of one color, or of any one color to your pool. So mana fixing in black. Kind of cool. Festering Goblin, of course, when it dies, target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Good way of getting rid of that. Blood Celebrant. Notably also Joe finding his black source early on. Again, beautiful swamp there. And it was from Dan Frazier, by the way. I think I miscredited it to John Avon earlier. Yeah, very cool looking swamp. Not my absolute favorite, but definitely high up there. Okay, we're playing a morph here. And getting in for 1. The Blood Celebrant also getting aggro last turn. Joe correctly not wanting to block with the Festering Goblin until there was a second target for its ability. Plains and a Zealous Inquisitor here for Thomas. Just a 2/2 for 2, but you can pay 1 and a white for it to prevent the next 1 damage. That would be dealt to Zealous Inquisitor this turn. It's dealt to target creature instead, so a good way to potentially bounce damage. Also means it can block like a 3/3 against 3/3s. Assuming you have the mana up. Two swamps here for Joe. He does actually have a mountain as well, but not super concerned about playing it out yet. Instead is going to play Vengeful Dead. Whenever Vengeful Dead or another zombie is put into a graveyard from play, each opponent loses 1 life. And that was actually maybe an option for him to swing in with the Festering Goblin, try and push an extra point of damage. But it's still just a 3/2. 4 mana 3/2. Notably, it also doesn't care about which player has a zombie die. So, Thomas actually having a decent amount of zombies could be beneficial for this Vengeful Dead. So we're tapping big. And here is the Bonethorn Valisk 4/2. This is the one that deals damage when it sees a creature get turned face up. Thomas with a lot of mana again. Okay, here we go. Here's a bigger creature again. I believe this is the prevent 1 damage to a cleric you control. Very brutal card. Again, 3/3. That acts like it can block more than that. Ooh, and what was that? That card coming in from Joe's sideboard. It looked big. It looks scary. Does he have enough mana to flip it? Yes, I was green. Hopefully it doesn't need 3 green to flip. No, I'm just going to pass the turn. Both players definitely hitting their land drops, which is good for them, but needing to find ways to push damage through. This is not that. This is the Ancestor's Prophet. Tap 5 clerics to gain 10 life. And Thomas is almost there. He has 4 clerics. Blood Celebrant is a cleric. Ooh, are we going to see the Dragon Mage? We are. Those land drops paying off. I guess Joe being able to cast his 7-drop 5/5 flyer. Now Thomas does have ways to deal with it, but he needs to find them. I don't know if he has any in hand. We do see the Carrion Feeder in hand. I think Thomas really wanted to find a cleric, though. The Ancestor's Prophet, of course, lets you tap creatures that even have Summoning Sickness and can do it at instant speed, so it can be done in response to blocks at the end of Joe's turn, but instead not playing out anything. Potentially a hint of combat tricks to come. And this is kind of the tricky spot for Joe. He has a few cards in hand that would be good to play. The Warbreaker, Warbreak Trumpeteer. I think he also drew the Wave of Indifference, which he could push a lot of damage here. That might be what he does. Yeah, I think that's what we're seeing here. A big Wave of Indifference, take out 4 creatures, make it so they can't block. Or not. Okay, we are going to Wave of Indifference. X target creatures can't block. In response, Akroma's Blessing. 3-drop instant, creatures you control gain protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Well, that does prevent Joe from swinging in with everything, but he can still swing in with the Dragon Mage. And there is Wing Shards. Target player sacrifices an attacking creature with Storm. He had it. Oh man, did he have it? That was rough. Dragon Mage down. I didn't see it in Thomas's hand, but that was one of the only outs he could have potentially had. And if he hadn't have had Akromas and Wing Shards, the Wing Shards wouldn't have mattered because Joe would have swung in with everything. Nasty stuff. Alright, and we see a zombie on Thomas's side. The Gluttonous Zombie. It does have Fear, and I believe is a 3/3. We still don't know what Joe's face down card is. I was trying to look it up on Scryfall. Trying to eliminate possibilities of morph creatures. Alright, Patron of the Wild was the draw for Joe, and it's going to be put face down. Now it can be turned face up pretty much immediately. Give any creature he wants +3/+3. So he's considering swinging in, but it's just going to pass. Yep, that is what it is. And there is the Bird Soldier for Thomas, the Dive Bomber. 2/2 flyer for 4 mana. You can tap and sack it to deal 2 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. So potentially a combat trick, but in this matchup is just a way to push damage. Flyers back in the day were definitely at a premium, and I feel like we've seen mini matches or mini games over the course of these 3 matches be decided by flyers. Are we going to see the Misery Charm? It can blow up any cleric.
That's the second time I've seen that card today.
I'm going to choose that one.
That's really sad.
I guess it makes sense. It does take the Ancestor's Prophet off of the cleric plan for at least 2 more creatures. Thomas doesn't have that many more clerics left. Still a decent amount, though. Okay, we're going to play the War Break Trumpeter. Yep.
Let's go.
And Thomas might be getting a little flooded here, actually.
I think I'm supposed to just swing into you.
Players just analyzing the board state, deciding if... I think Joe deciding if he wants to flip up a morph creature.
Yeah, let's do it. These 3.
Ooh, and Thomas getting aggressive here, swinging in for a bunch. Gluttonous Zombie has Fear, so a zombie has to block it. However, this Vengeful Dead might get a couple of payoffs here. Oh, we are flipping the morph creature. What was it? I think it was a Towering Baloth. No, flipping the Patron of the Wild, but I found the creature, I believe. So the one that Joe's hiding under, we've been wondering what it is. Also, this Patron of the Wild could just block by itself. There's no reason to block with the Festering Goblin.
Flip. This will trigger.
I deal 1 damage to.
Okay, we are going to...
So I take 4.
Yep. And this one will die.
Oh, deal a 1 point of damage with the Bonethorn Valisk.
I don't think that was good.
And... yeah, lose a life off of the zombie, hopefully. And...
That's really bad.
oh wait, that's not what... that's not a Towering Baloth. What is that? Croson Colossus. 8-drop 9/9 with Morph for 8. Doesn't have trample or anything like that. It's just a big boy. And Thomas might be in a little bit of trouble here. We're swinging all out. Thomas with just the 1/5 to block. Can block,
Yeah, it's
you know, the Patron of the Wild or the Festering Goblin.
I think I have to block this.
Is opting to block the 9/9, makes sense.
6, 9,
But you're still taking 5,
11.
9, 11?
Bad for me.
Down to 7. And I think we're going to be going to a game 3. Gonna play Morph.
Drop my creatures too, huh?
It's annoying card when it's on the wrong side of the table.
Let's go ahead and just flip this up now.
Oh, flipping up
Creature can't be regenerated.
the Skin Thinner.
Yeah, 8
Destroy target non-black creature.
destroyed
That will take care of the 9/9. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Oh, and when his turn face up, yep, he's going. Joe's going to shoot it with the Bonethorn Valisk.
pass.
Then go to combat. Ooh, there's a Battering Craighorn. Also pretty good. Now the Warbreak Trumpeter can flip for quite a lot here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 more 1/1s. So swinging in with everything. Flip it up. Can shoot the Zealous Inquisitor. Mana's all tapped out, so any 1/1 will trade with it. Can even just wait for blocks. Yeah, I think this is just another situation of going all out. not playing out anything just yet. Oh, okay, we're gonna play the morph creature. Okay, flip up, deal 1 point of damage to the Inquisitor. Oh, and just flip up the Trumpeteer for no damage as well. Oh, well, Thomas has seen enough, and we're going to game number 3. And here we are in game number 3. Again, always great when both players get to do the thing. We saw a rather interesting sideboard card come in for Joe. Massive 9/9. Fortunately not going to do much, but did take out the best blocker Thomas had before hitting the bin. Looks like Joe is not happy with his starting hand, so we're going to cut to when he's got a keepable 1. Joe, unfortunately, down to 5 here. Only had a 1-lander in his 6. And I don't think I've called it out yet, but he's also choosing to rock no sleeves for this, just like back in the day. Looks like he does have a keepable hand. At least 2 lands. Yep, finds the 5 he likes, and Thomas going to start us off with the Foothill Guide. Very strong creature in this matchup again. It is just a 1/1, but Joe has a lot of goblins, including the Goblin Psychopath we saw. Alright, Forest and Go from him. Now again, hopefully that Psychopath rules interaction doesn't come up. We got a Blood Celebrant for Thomas there, and I'm going to swing in with the Foothill Guide. In response, though, we're going to see a Vitality Charm to make a 1/1 insect. Foothill Guide can't protect against insects, so nice little trade there. Fountain for Joe, and then a pass. Foil Swamp for Thomas there. Again, I think this is one of the ones he pulled out of his pack. Hopefully it wasn't the foil in the tournament pack, but Joe being very excited about a Psychopath coming down in hopefully 2 turns. I think he just drew another land, so yeah, very likely. One of those lands is a Goblin Burrows, which for 2 and a tap can give a target Goblin +2/+0. Siphon Mind here from Thomas. Joe will have to discard a card, and Thomas gets to draw a card. I do think you pitch... Well, I would have pitched the Goblin Burrows, to be honest, but that's just me. It is a good card, but so is hitting your black mana sources. Ooh, and we do see a Wirewood Savage here, but we're going to play out the Psychopath. No guts, no glory. And with that Foothill Guide gone, we don't have to worry about protection mucking things up. Good note for the future, though, guys. Now, if the Psychopath had Trample, that's where things get a little murky. And by murky, I mean you do have to still assign lethal damage to the pro creature. Damage is prevented, and then trample over damage happens. So then it would still trigger the Psychopath, but it would deal minus whatever the lethal damage assigned was to the Foothill Guide, I believe. Anyways, Daunting Defender here is the play from Thomas. And I think a similar thing happens here. Psychopath cares about the amount of damage it would deal. So if Thomas was to double block, it would reduce the Psychopath damage by 2 total. And from that expression, it seems like Joe won the die roll there, so doesn't have to worry about it. Or he's just very excited about taking 5. Odds equals damaged him. Oh, so he did take 5. Never mind, he was extremely bummed out by it. Okay. Anyways, there's the Wirewood Savage. This is like Mana Crypt taken to a whole new level. or Mana Vault, whatever the one that is that deals 3 is Mana Crypt, right? Anyways, once again, Thomas finding all the lands, needing to do something with them. Okay, there's a Carrion Feeder. I think we've seen that all 3 games. Oh, and there is the Lingering Death. So Joe will get a chance to draw 1 card if he can play a beast next turn. Which I don't think he has one in hand. Also means this Wirewood Savage is probably swinging in. Okay, there's a Skirk Commando. Yeah, no beast to look like in Joe's hand. There is a Cabal Executioner, which he can morph and just leave it as a 2/2. But we got the Psycho coming in. And that one will not deal damage to him.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna wait for you to declare what you're doing. I'll block and I'll prevent 4 damage to it.
Thomas will decide to block and prevent 4 damage. So the Psycho just bounce. Also notable that Joe can decide to pump the Psycho with the Goblin Burrows after the trigger, which is very correctly doing. I also would have swung in with Wired Symbiote just because it dies anyways. Okay, Morph here from Thomas off the top of the deck. He's hellbent, but has had the answers so far. Now deciding if he wants to swing in. Looks like yes, Carrion Feeder will get in for 1. Notably not a cleric, so yeah, just asking about that real quick. He would have to sack 2 creatures for it to survive. 1 to have a trade. Oh no, sorry, the Skirk Commander is a 2/1. Okay, sacking the... Oh, okay, sacking his morph creature and... Little risky. Not using the Skin Thinner on the Goblin Psychopath, or just saving it up for a different creature. Yep, Thomas taking 5 this time. Joe getting 7, actually. Yep. Maybe wanting to attempt a block at some point. But no, we're just gonna go everybody in. Swing for 5. Joe down to 7. Finds 1 black source. I mean, you didn't put Goblin Psycho in the deck not to swing with it, right? Okay, we're gonna play the Bonethorn Valisk. And then, oh, Joe, you're chickening out, does not swing. I mean, it's fair. He would be dead on board if he loses the die roll. But, come on, no guts, no glory. Thomas leaving a card in his hand. Actually has 2 now, okay. Maybe that secret info also giving Joe some pause. Now, just a note that if Joe had not been that swamp, he could actually have played out this Cabal Interrogator. Or Executioner, sorry. Which is only a 2/2, but being able to deal combat damage to a player and have them sack a creature is kind of huge. That removal can really add up, especially if you have ways to give it unblockable, like with Wave of Indifference. Okay, so a block on the Carrion Feeder. even if Thomas sacks a creature, he'll still die, but a Chroma will save him. Bone Horde hit in the bin. And then for the first time, we see Convalescent Care. Talked about it in the deck tech, but it's a 3-mana enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 5 or less life, you gain 3, draw a card. But I think no matter what, Joe might be dead. Oh, he's got the Dragon Tyrant though. Is he 1 mana short? He's 1 mana short. Oh no. Yep. 1 mana short. He can morph. Oh no, Joe, you could morph. You wouldn't be dead. But you'd be almost dead, especially if you lose your coin flip to the Psychopath. And Thomas not swinging in. Again, Thomas could swing in with the Cleric, force the block. Oh, but there's the Misery Charm. Sack the Cleric anyways to the Carrion Feeder. At a 4/4. There's a land from Thomas. Say go. That is a big boy that Joe just drew. He can't cast it, but he can morph it. And you can morph the Cabal Executioner.
Let's go. Pass.
Joe may be forgetting you can morph for colorless mana. Oh, but there is the last land he needs for the Dragon Mage. Can pass the turn. Land for Thomas. Getting a little flooded out here. Still, we'll draw 7 cards. I believe that was a Spitfire Handler. Has fire breathing. 1/1. Can't block creatures with power greater than it. No, not doing that. I mean, yeah, you can flip over the 9/9. That's pretty good. Okay, getting in for 5. Little risky. Both players, yep, get to draw 7.
Did Albert win his game? Because if so, then someone will be 3-0 versus.
Right? Let me just double check. Each player, yep, draws 7.
We draw 7?
Again, very risky.
I take 5.
Refilling Thomas's hand. But that is a wave of indifference that Joe just drew, so he might have a shot here. If you just play out all the creatures you can, next turn swing. Notably, Convalescent Care. Oh no, just passing the turn. Is he wanting to morph the face down 9/9? I would save that for after blocks have been declared. Okay, there's a blackmail. So Joe picks 3 cards from his hand for Thomas to look at. And Thomas will get to discard 1, and whatever one isn't a land is the one that he's going to pitch.
1, 2, 3. Severed Legion, 2/2 Fear.
Okay, there is the potential way for Thomas to win, Severed Legion.
Because that's my second spell. 2, 3. Sandskin cannot deal or.
Ooh, Sandskin on the Dragon Mage can no longer deal damage, can still block. Very relevant. It's not a passivism.
Reaping the Graves for 4.
And there's a Reaping of the Graves. I think that's 3 spells, so Thomas gets to bring back 3 creatures.
Okay.
I also apologize if you can hear a weed whacker. My neighbors just decided they wanted to start trimming their lawn.
And
with only a few minutes left to go in this match, and I'm not re-recording this. All right, we find the foothill guide and 3 other creatures. That's right, storm. So yeah, four creatures, not 3.
I guess that's whatever it blocks as well.
So Thomas refilling his hand yet again. Army of blockers.
Combat?
Will it be enough? Oh, and is actually getting aggressive here. So Joe is gonna spring the trap. Flip up his 9/9 and attempt to block the carrion feeder. No way for the carrion feeder to get big enough to block, and this actually might just be game.
Okay. I'll pass to you.
Joe just has to wave indifference for 2. His opponent is all tapped out. I think he's got it. Will he see the line though? Looks like he's tapping 3. Wave of indifference for 2. Swing in for 9. That is going to be game. Joe takes it down in a stunning 3 games. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was a ton of fun. If you enjoyed these sealed games, make sure to give the video a like and of course subscribe to the channel. Both are free and help me out a ton. As you can see on screen, this was the end result of the event. David, who you saw in round 2, ended up being the only undefeated player. Then Teebs, who I played in round 1, took home 2nd, and then I was lucky enough to get 3rd. Overall, a ton of fun. If you're able to do something like this, I highly recommend it. Even if you just do pack simulators, so you don't have to actually buy these packs, that might be the better option. And yeah, if you've liked these videos, also consider supporting the Patreon. One of the reasons why I was able to do this video is because of your support. For as little as $1 a month, you're gonna be here with all these other wonderful folks. You get access to special channels in the Discord. Also, make sure to check out the Discord, linked in the video description. And yeah, I could not do this without all the wonderful people currently on screen. Thank you all so much. I'll catch you next time.